Welcome back to my channel, guys. What's up? I wanted to go over the different medications involved in medication-assisted treatment. There are 3 types of FDA-approved medications that you can use in MAT. The thing is, it has to be a combination of MAT and psychosocial therapy. Psychosocial therapy is pretty much like CBT, any type of behavioral therapy. It can be done in an individual and group setting, and you also include your family. You can also include adding on like the 12-step programs and stuff like that. But you have to do that with Suboxone or with Methadone. That combination is what works, and that is what they're considering medication-assisted treatment. It's not just taking medicine. Like, medication does not fix everything. The medication just gives you a chance to kind of pause, take a look around, reevaluate your life, and then fix things before you have to deal with the cravings and the withdrawal or any of that. So that's nice. Like, that's definitely helpful for someone that wants to get into recovery but isn't there yet. The idea of just going into a detox and withdrawing, it's scary, to say the least. I wouldn't want to do it, hence why I got on Suboxone, but I think that people overlook that important part of MAT, that it's not just medication, it's medication and therapy. So anyway, let's go into the 3 different FDA-approved types of medicine. The first type of medication is Methadone. It's got a lot of government support. People with Medicaid and Medicare, they can get on Methadone and have it covered. That's something that they really pushed for Medicare recipients. Methadone is a full agonist in your mu opioid receptor. You have mu opioid receptors in your brain, and Methadone is a perfect fit. Basically what that means is if the medication is a key, that's the perfect fit, and it fully unlocks. So it activates the mu opioid receptor. This is where things get a little controversial, I guess would be the way to say it. Methadone does not have any blocking effects, but they claim that it blocks euphoric feelings because it's very long lasting. It's supposed to last for 24 to 36 hours without the normal peaks and valleys that you get in taking opioids or heroin. I've seen some people that take their dose and they look a little bit high. I can't say that they're high. I'm not them. I'm not feeling what they're feeling. I don't really know how I feel about that. I've personally never taken Methadone. I know a lot of people that have been in it, and I know a lot of people that have finished treatment successfully. Methadone is only allowed to be prescribed in an opioid treatment program, an OTP, but that means you have to go to the clinic daily. Eventually, you can work your way up to be able to get a weekend dose and take it home with you, but it's served in a liquid dose. I don't know if that's right. It's dosed in liquid form, so it's very dangerous if someone else gets their hands on it. You have to work your way up to being able to take home your weekend dose. That's the easiest way for the government and the medical professionals to control it and regulate it and make sure that it's not being diverted, which makes sense, but does anyone have the time or energy to get up first thing in the morning and go to the clinic? I am a horrible morning person. I wouldn't be able to do it. I've considered it. I've definitely considered getting on Methadone because in the South, that was the only program that they had where I lived. And I just wasn't into it. So I traveled pretty far to find my Suboxone doctor. And I'm very glad that I did because I don't want to have to build my day around that daily appointment. And you get a lot more freedom with Suboxone. I'm definitely not trying to be judgmental. I applaud anyone on Methadone because you're not using heroin. You're not seeking out drugs. So that's great. Methadone is way better than the alternative. So don't think that I'm knocking Methadone. I just think that I prefer Bupenorphine, which is the second FDA-approved medication. Bupenorphine is a partial agonist, so this means it partially fits into that mu opioid receptor in your brain and activates it. However, it doesn't completely bind, which means like its effects will eventually plateau. It has a ceiling effect. You can only take up to so much before the effects stop happening, like, if that makes sense. We'll say the ceiling effect is 10 milligrams. You will take 10 milligrams, then if you want to take another 10 milligrams, it's not going to do anything. That's why a lot of the times people are surprised when they start to taper down off of Suboxone. They can go down pretty quickly because after a while, it's just null and void. And that ceiling effect is great. And it blocks euphoric feelings. I don't feel euphoric every day that I take it. I just feel normal. And I think that's great. The thing that I like about Bupenorphine is that you can get it prescribed to a doctor in an outpatient setting monthly. You don't have to go daily like you have to go in Methadone. Okay, so the third and final FDA-approved medication for MAT is Naltrexone. This is sometimes added with buprenorphine to make Suboxone. Buprenorphine without Naltrexone is just called Subutex. That's another video. Naltrexone is an antagonist, which means that it covers the mu opioid receptors rather than activates it. So it completely blocks all opiates. You can take them and it'll do nothing. This is not something I would recommend for someone in active addiction because you have to completely stop using before you can get there. This is more for someone who is trying to do like relapse prevention or an abstinence-based treatment program. Okay, so I'm sorry if you hear anything. My son just woke up from his nap, so the dogs are down here and he's upstairs talking to his daddy. But at this point, only 23% of publicly funded treatment centers offer medication-assisted treatment. We are greatly understaffed as far as medical professionals when it comes to this. Like I said, methadone can only be prescribed in the opioid treatment program, but Suboxone can be prescribed in a doctor's office. The thing is, the doctor has to apply for a waiver. It's an 8-hour course online. I don't know why doctors aren't doing it more. I think there's this huge resistance because of the stigma of addiction and the stigma against meth. People think that you're replacing one drug for another, but you're truly not. You are truly taking something legal and under doctor supervision and getting your life together. I highly recommend it, but that's my personal opinion. Hopefully, by advocating for it, maybe more people will be open to the idea of trying it or recommending it to a friend or family member. So that's going to be it for today. I hope that this was informational and not too boring, and let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm definitely going to keep trying to put out new videos. I think that my next video is going to be about cognitive distortions, or touch a little bit more about things in cognitive behavioral therapy and how they relate to addiction. So I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great New Year's, and I will see you in the next video.